Hi guys, and welcome to another video. Today I want to talk to you about why you should never, as in never, ever in a million years, draw for anyone but yourself. Before we start, I just wanted to let you know that I got a new microphone. It's so great! It's amazing, and I actually sound like myself now, and I'm really excited. I also just wanted to announce that the videos that will be coming up, there are 2 videos I think, will be primarily consisting of just speed paint. There will be no voiceover and no real topic to talk about. They're still gonna be there, but I kind of just want to get them out of the way because they're from before December, and after I changed directions, or rather announced that I was changing directions, I kind of just want to focus on my own stuff, the stuff that really matters to me. With that out of the way, let me introduce this drawing. It's very personal, and by the end of this video, you'll probably know why. As you may know from my previous video, I've decided to no longer do portraits, which has previously been a very key element in my social media. My commissions have mostly been portraits, and generally speaking, my art has been very portrait based. And I won't be doing them. I will only be drawing what I want to draw. Not only does this drawing mark the beginning of an entirely new era, but it's also highly personal. What do you guys think this means? I love hearing how other people interpret my drawings, but don't worry, I won't leave you hanging. When I show the final image, I will include the title a few seconds in, which will, in turn, reveal what this actually means. So you can tell me before you see the title. I hope so anyway, I would really appreciate that. Anyway, on to today's topic. After I realized that I was going down the wrong path this summer, so this has been a long way coming, I somehow ended up looking back at my old artwork, so story time. When I first started drawing, I was drawing a lot of manga, especially elves for some reason, and a lot of wolves too. So many wolves. I loved to add unnatural traits. I loved that and was naturally heading towards fantasy art. When I started doing digital art, I was doing request after request to help improve my skills and challenge my creativity. It was so awesome, guys. Let's be honest. It was really, really awesome, and I improved so much in 2010 that you would have no idea. In 2011, I got my first commission for a pet portrait. I was really excited, and I also mentioned this in my other video about quitting portraits. At first, I had a lot more freedom. I was allowed to change the backgrounds in most of them, and a lot of the shading was invented by me. I was also learning a ton, so I didn't really see it in any way as a bad thing. As time progressed, my portraits started becoming more uniform. You know, white background, black and white dog, you know, very classic, and always a dog, too. It was very often a dog. I think I've done maybe a few cats and a horse, but that's about it. So it became very uniform, and it was not good. So I thought I had only been struggling with motivation for around 2 years, which was when I started doing traditional portraits in charcoal. What I've kind of come to realize is that this started in 2011. After 2011, I have finished 2 elaborate pieces of fantasy art. That's 2 pieces in 6 years. The other ones I finished would be doodles that somehow became a finished piece in under 10 hours. Generally between 2 and 8. This is pretty fast for me. For example, This skeleton took me 36 hours, and a lot of my portraits take between 15 and 25 to finish. So under 10 wasn't really a lot, and I ended up doing a lot of these portrait-styled fantasy pieces, often of elves, because I still love those, and often I would start pieces, but because they were elaborate and took time, I ended up giving up on them, or I simply wasn't happy and I couldn't put in that time and energy to actually finish them, so they just remained unfinished because of all my, other things. So I lost myself trying to satisfy what others were asking me to do. And the more I've thought about this, the more I've realized that I became too focused on what everyone else wanted. Every single time that I would brainstorm ideas, I'd ask myself, would this sell though? I wanted to do this full time, so of course I would focus on what sold, but I focused on it too much, and it just doesn't work, you guys. I focused on how to create a business, and then I naively, very naively, believed that doing pet portraits and throwing in a fantasy piece here and there would somehow magically shift my audience over to my fantasy more than my portraits. Now, it goes without saying that this is not how it works. People will follow you for what you post most, not what you occasionally post. And that took me a long time to realize for whatever reason, but here is my advice to you. If you are just starting out, don't worry about likes, don't worry about business, don't worry about what sells. Do art for you. Do what you want to do. Now, I'm not saying that you can never take a commission or a request, but if you do, promise me that you'll do it because you want to, because you like the concept. Have fun. That's what matters. Everything else is not as important. If you lose the fun, you lose your passion, and that is not worth it. No price is worth that. Now, I know someone is going to point this out, so I'm just going to say this. Improving is important. I'll give you that. But not as important as retaining that passion that you've gained for drawing, because it shows in every piece if you're passionate. Yes, there may be flaws, but you have time to figure those out. You don't have to fix all your mistakes at once, and you don't have to study before you can have fun. I see a lot of young people, young artists. I'm young, but young artists starting out, and they're like, oh my god, I should study more, and I need to study this, and oh my god, this is so boring. And I'm like, yes, it's boring. That's why you shouldn't focus on it. You can do studies, but don't forget to have fun too, because otherwise you're going to burn out. Anyway, because I've done portraits for so long, I've actually become afraid of being critiqued, which is a key element in improving too. I've been without them for so long that they're suddenly very scary to me. I used to feed off of critiques like a leech. I was just trying to learn so much as I could, and trying to correct all the mistakes I was making. I loved getting critiques, and now I'm afraid of it. It's horrible. Obviously, I will pull through in the end, and I will get back into it, but it's very odd for me to think about this, because in 2010, that was all I was getting. I was loving that critique, and it was very important to me to get it, because I could see that it helped me improve, and now I'm afraid of it. It's kind of tragic, really. Anyway, this is my biggest regret in my art life. It's like I wasted 6 years trying to become something that I never was. But now I also feel like I've rekindled a spark with this piece that was long gone before. Like I've just been reborn and put into this new era of my own art. I'm excited and I'm scared, but it's gonna be okay because now I am passionate and I'm loving doing it. I'm loving the process, and I'm honestly ecstatic about this. So learn from my mistakes and keep remembering why you started. It's so important, guys. This became quite a long ranty thing, but I hope you guys stuck with me through it all. If any of you have had similar experiences or have any thoughts about this, I would love to hear it in the comments below. And don't forget to tell me how you interpreted this drawing, because it really does mean a lot to me. Thank you all for watching, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I'm starting a new journey and I would love to have you guys with me. I will see you all in the next video. Bye guys!